Now we will start the meeting for the Moraine Foundation. This meeting starts at 6:24. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Allen,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Doherty,
Here.
Ms. Marcus,
Here.
Mr. Delph,
Here.
Mrs. Witt,
Here.
Mayor Murphy.
Here. Now we will go into business. I need a motion. I am asking for a motion to appoint Brandon Duff to the Moraine Foundation Board of Trustees.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Brandon Delph to the Board of Trustees for the Moraine Foundation.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Delph, Mrs. Witt,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Yes. Okay, the next thing, Karen was telling me, in the past, it appears the president has been the mayor. But, and she says, I cannot find in the past 8 years where an appointment has been made. This may be a good time to discuss rewriting that section of the bylaws or staying with the bylaws and appointing each year. I did not know we even appointed each year. We were supposed to appoint each year. Well, we haven't in 2 years.
So we appoint the mayor.
Yes, we can,
Well, I'm making a motion.
but what I'm asking, are we gonna do this every year? Do we wanna do it every 2 years? I mean, that's the one thing.
What do
It's
the bylaws say?
Every year.
every year.
But you're having one meeting a year, so one person is chairing the meeting only to ask to appoint somebody else, basically, at this point. If you had more meetings, it would make more sense. My question was, do you want to do this every year and stick by the bylaws, or would you like to rewrite the bylaws to maybe either appoint somebody every few years, or just have the mayor be the president, however you want to do it?
I'd
If we
say,
have bylaws, I think we should go by the bylaws.
yes, I think so too. I mean, I don't see any sense, but we needed to discuss it because I think years have been skipped and nothing has been said. Okay, so we got that. Now, are we gonna go with your motion? You can change it.
Make the motion again, we appoint the mayor.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Dolph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy. Abstain?
Yeah, I abstain. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next thing is ask for a motion to appoint a vice president. I don't think have we ever had a vice president?
That's just the thing. I can't find anything where anyone's been appointed in the past 8 years, but the bylaws say every year the officers have to be reappointed, which is the president, the vice president, the treasurer, and the secretary. That's what is kind of odd about this. But also, there were 3 to 4 meetings per year in the past, whereas there have not been meetings for a while. And I don't know if that's where things got off base or not.
I'm going to make a motion to appoint Shirley Witt as vice president.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes.
Mr. Dolph?
Yes.
Mrs. Witt?
Not voting.
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes. Next is appointment of treasurers. And this says, discussion whether it is appropriate to have co-treasurers or just one treasurer, and if this goes against the bylaws. So what do the bylaws say?
Bylaws basically just point to a treasurer. I know that Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Perry were wanting to change that to be co-treasurers. I don't know if if this might be a law director question. Does that go with the bylaws, or does it go against the bylaws to have
So it
co-treasurers?
says in the bylaws, the Board of Trustees shall elect a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, and at its discretion may create any other offices as it may determine necessary. So I believe that section of the bylaws allow you to create a co-treasurer position if you feel it necessary. If not, then you just appoint treasurer. You also need to appoint a secretary according to this.
Which I think in the past has been the clerk.
Hasn't, in the past, the treasurer's always been the finance.
Yes.
In the
And
past,
then the clerk is the secretary, and then the co-chair would be, or co-treasurer would be the
Laura.
deputy finance director. That's the way we've always had it.
in the past, though, both the finance director and Laura have been co-treasurers. Because as far as back as she can remember, at least since 2011, she's been on it along with the finance director. Because they're both on the bank accounts.
Right.
So they can both
Right.
transact business. And Laura handles all the day-to-day operations. Finance director's just the backup in case she's not there and somebody needs something.
So then we want to add to our list a co-treasurer.
Right.
Because that's not listed on there.
Right. So if that's what you want to do, then I would basically have somebody make a motion to add co-treasurer as position, and then if you want to appoint Ms. Perry, then separate motion to appoint her as co-treasurer, just so the record's clear that you are creating that position according to the bylaws and that you have made an appointment for this year.
But we still need to appoint Anetta Williams, I think, because she's
'cause I'm
not currently the treasurer based on last year.
Yeah.
So it'd
Right.
basically be three motions.
Right, but first, do we want to add a co-treasurer?
I'll make a motion to have the co-treasurer position added to the Moraine Foundation.
Yeah, the bylaws. Roll call, please.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Annetta Williams as the co-treasurer too.
No, she's a co-treasurer, she's the treasurer.
They said co-treasurers, right?
No. One for both. You do a treasurer and a co-treasurer.
Okay. What, didn't, Annetta, did you not say that Dawn and Laura were co-treasurers?
But Don would have been.
Main treasurer,
Okay,
So it's not at the same time, it's in case
Okay.
the other one's not around,
so
which is,
I'll amend my motion to appoint Annetta Williams as the treasurer of the Moraine Foundation.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes,
Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
And then, is this next one to appoint Laura as the co-treasurer? Laura Berry?
I'll make a motion to appoint Laura Perry as co-treasurer.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes,
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we do Karen as the secretary. Roll call, please.
Okay. Mrs. Witt,
yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
yes,
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going to go into 2025 end-of-year balances.
All right. So in your packets, There is a list of end-of-the-year balances for each event in the Moraine Foundation. It is a good practice for, for the trustees to see what money is earmarked in each individual event. And as a reminder, some of the events are listed because there were grants that were required at one point that required a 501c3 distinction. I know there was also a discussion last year regarding a possible removal or consolidation of some events. The next item that's on the agenda and the document that I handed you is for that discussion item, so that goes with D. But the list for this item was already included in your packet, so that the one that's in your packet is the one we're discussing now. So since D is a pending discussion, I'm requesting that the trustees accept the report as is presented, and we will file it with the Ohio Attorney General's office.
Well, did we want to go over this or not? I mean,
Well, we can certainly discuss it to get your approval on that, or you may not want to do that, I don't know.
what is number 9? Caretaker, 228. Oh. Is it caretaker?
I'm confused as to what you're asking him to do.
Well, it says cart. Caretaker.
Okay, well, I
That
have
is a
asked,
typo, I will fix that. You're correct. It sure does, I will make that correction.
I was just kept looking at that, even when I was reading it the other day, going, what is that?
Yes, that is a typo, my bad.
Okay. Now, like the cardboard boat regatta, I don't know if are we ever going to do that again?
So are we gonna,
we're going to just go, I guess, into the discussion for item D. I didn't mean to confuse you all by handing that to you. That handout was for the last item on the agenda for
Okay.
discussion after we get through this and get this approved and out of the way.
Okay, sorry.
So I apologize for that.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to approve the 2025 end-of-the-year balances. Roll call, please.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes.
Mr. Delph?
Yes.
Mrs. Witt?
Yes,
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Thank you. So, yeah, so we're good on C. So I've asked Laura to come and lead the discussion on consolidating and removing some of the projects. She kind of opened that discussion a little bit last year, but she's done all of the deep dive work on it and talked with all the departments responsible for the event. So take it away, Laura.
Hello. So last year, we started talking about trying to consolidate some of
Right.
the events within the foundation. As you can see from the end-of-year
Okay.
report that you just voted on, there are some events that have been here for a very long time and have a very small balance, and we have to report on those to the IRS and to the state every year. So the discussion last year was that I would be making recommendations and coming back to the board to discuss consolidating. And so the conversation has been consolidating those events while yet still keeping the intent of the original donations that we received. So you'll see on the information that Annetta passed out to you,
Yeah.
there is the second, okay, so the very first page is where we sit right now, okay, which you just signed off on. And then the second page, you'll see at the top of that in blue, recommendations. I've gone through every single event, and I've tried to keep little notes on each individual line item here. As you can see, there's 36 different events currently, and some of them have not been used since, going back clear to 2008, okay?
Yeah.
So again, I have spoken to all the department heads, and you can see down at the bottom who I have spoken to and when, trying to get an idea of what their intent for the future of these events are. And so, like, for example, you mentioned earlier the cardboard regatta.
Yeah,
We are not going to be hosting that event anymore. So to keep the intent of the original donations that we had for that
Yeah.
event, for example, the cardboard regatta, we're gonna transfer the remaining balance, $77.50, with your approval, of course, to the Parks and Rec programs, because this is a Park and Rec program.
Right.
And we want to close that event. It hasn't been used since 2018. We haven't used any funds from the foundation
Right.
since 2018. We've hosted that event, and the city has, paid for those things. But the foundation itself hasn't been used. So my goal is, as you go through here, you can see the department that the event typically would belong to, if you will. And then the information here about where, if there's a balance, where it would be transferred to, or if we should just do away with it because it no longer makes sense. So I don't know if you've obviously had a chance to look through the different events. One of the events that I know we talked about a little bit at length last year was the Heritage Festival, where we don't have a Heritage Festival anymore. It's not titled as a Heritage Festival, but we created a historical celebration. And to keep the intent and the integrity of the original donation, it makes sense to me and to the department heads that would be running those events to move like the Heritage Festival to the historical celebration. It's still historical heritage, and they do have a festival or themed events along with it. So as you can see, as you go through here, I literally have tried to make sense of everything. We had, Deer Meadow Park, they used for various things. Well, we haven't used that in a very long time, and it was kind of a one-off donation. It's not something that we utilize very often now. So it makes sense to use it for a project or a program that's at that location, which is the disc golf course. So like I said, I've tried my best to keep the integrity
Right.
and the intent of the original donation and put it where it could go. There are some that I couldn't find a home for, like the Christmas tree lighting, the community Halloween party. Those are specialized events. Yes, they are Parks and Rec programs, but those are really specialized events that have a long history, and I didn't feel good about trying to move the money or change that structure. So,
don't we had an Easter egg hunt every year. Why, we're just gonna move it there and you're just gonna pay it out of your budget? Okay,
yeah. So the Easter egg hunt, there's a small balance there, and again, the intent would be to move that to Parks and Rec programs, so that, yes, it is a Parks and Rec program. It is a specialized event, but it's still, we have those things in our actual budget, because you can't have a city event and expect the foundation to be able to fund it 100%.
right.
Because sometimes people can donate or will donate, and sometimes they don't. So to have events that we know we're going to have, it made sense. Years ago, we started putting those things in the city budget, and we use the foundation as a supplement.
So like National Night Out, they do get donations. I thought all donations had to go through the foundation.
So yes, if there's a donation, yes, it does have to go through the foundation. And what we're doing is having, if there's a donation that comes in with a specific earmark, it's where that is going to be paid from is where my intent is. So if we get something that says National Night Out, it would then go to what I call the COC, or the Community Outreach
But
Committee.
you've got it closed and removed.
Yeah, the National Night Out would not be specifically titled as an event anymore, because that event is being paid out of the Community Outreach Committee program. For the last couple of years, that program receives more donations than National Night Out. So really, the bulk of the program is paid from the community outreach.
And that's Parks and Rec?
No, the community outreach
It's its own line.
is number 11, which is
Oh, I was
PD.
looking down here at the reach.
I know, a
If
lot of
you
things that
guys-
say
If you
community.
take a look at these 14.
That's number 11.
All of these have been consolidated into these
Right.
14 items. And then money can still be used for those programs.
Yeah, correct.
No,
So
Laura, I
like
think
the
you-
Easter, when they do it, it's just going in parks.
It'll go into the Parks and Rec programs, correct,
Yeah.
and can be paid from there.
It looks like you've put a lot of time and effort into this and got the department head approvals, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm on board.
Well, we all knew we had too many last year when we were doing the 60th. We
Yeah.
said, this is a nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We need to get rid of some of these.
Yeah.
So this is good.
Good way to clean it up.
so you can see the very final page that was handed out to you says draft on it. That's obviously waiting for your approval. And this will be the new structure, or at least the new events that we have. I hit the microphone. So that you can see that some of the events we kept just as they were, but those others, you'll see where the
I
donations
still
are
don't
going
know
to.
what the Community Caretaker 228 is. What is that program?
So we talked about it last year, and I don't know if Chief Richardson
Did we?
would like to speak on it specifically.
Several years ago, we had a generous benefactor that liked the police department and wanted to help. And they donated some money through the Moraine Foundation so that if we came across somebody in dire need of help, we could help them with some money.
Okay.
And we use it very judiciously and with the Moraine Foundation's permission. So,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
Sounds good to me. Does anybody else have any questions?
What is the food pantry? How is that used? That's not one we hear about.
I know we
I'll
have,
turn that over to Brent, Mr. Shane.
So it's another conversation that I've talked to Mr. Davis about, that we do need to discuss further. We have a food pantry at the rec center. Country Jam, every Monday, when they come, they donate food to go to Country Jam. And we take that and put it in our food pantry. What we do with that is, if there's a family in need, they will come to us, they'll call us, they'll come, we'll make them a box of canned foods. It's, you know, most people that are looking for food, they want something they want to eat, right? So we are green beans and corn and, you know, your applesauces and those kind of things. So we keep that there at the rec center. We don't do it very often.
right.
So honestly, my thought with that was, you know, as we're trying to revitalize the rec center, to kind of do away with the food pantry. And if somebody does come to us with that need, that we have a list there that we give them for bigger food pantries where they can actually go in and almost grocery shop at those food pantries. I say we probably give 4 or 5 out a year, maybe. And that's a maybe. So what happens is the food that we bring in sometimes goes expired. And we don't want to do that either. So we are throwing food out sometimes because it's expiring, because we're not giving it out quick enough. So we like that we offer that, but then on the other side, it's kind of like, you know, we do a food drive for Denise. We do a big food drive for her. And that goes somewhere else. It doesn't come to Moraine. Even though we're all doing that and donating to it, it's going somewhere else. So that's kind of, you know, my thought with the food pantry is I would rather, you know, utilize the space that we're taking up with the food pantry. And if somebody comes in need, we give them a list of 25 different places or food pantries around that they can go to.
So what about the $2,800? How will that be spent? Will that be given to people to go buy milk and eggs or is it just going to sit there?
That I can't
Could we
answer.
give vouchers if people came in, like to Kroger's or something?
We don't have that, no.
No, the conversation I
really go
had
out
with
doing
Brent
that.
was either taking that event and rolling it into like Parks and Rec programs, because this is a Park and Rec program, or taking that money and donating it to another food pantry that has an established list of, users. The foundation can donate that money to another food pantry or use it within the Parks and Rec program. But I think that would also hold the intent, again, it's all about intent of the original donation that we
Right.
received. We want to try to keep that in mind when we move any money to anywhere within the foundation.
Or rather than give it to a pantry outside the city, the benefit singing held by First Freedom Church the first Friday in November, that is a great, they do so much good. I contribute to that every year with food and money. And last year we raised like $4,500, but it's never enough.
And this is to open up that conversation. I mean, the pantry hasn't been used in quite a while. I know the Country Jam, we also received donations from some seniors. They've also donated
seniors.
to the food pantry as well. But I think, again, having this conversation, if the board would like to donate that, or even have the intent of, in the future, if we receive a donation, where we would want to put it. But really, it would be, if we receive a donation that's for the food pantry, either we would have to turn around and donate it to wherever the board chooses, or just not accept it.
So you mentioned the seniors.
Correct.
So I do know they give the check to Moraine Foundation. So what would they do now? Who would they make the check out to now?
It would still be made out to the Moraine Foundation, if they want it to go to the Moraine Foundation, and it
Okay.
would just be earmarked for Parks and Rec programs.
Okay,
If the board chooses to also eliminate the food pantry, that would be what would happen to a donation coming from the seniors. But I think we would need to determine what food pantry we would need to donate this to, or if the board chooses to roll it into Parks and Rec programs.
The donation made by the club, that go to the Christmas house, that's what we intend.
This year, yes.
yeah, they marked it this year.
Yes.
Is that a possibility to consider Christmas smiles, because they do about food,
Right.
Absolutely.
but I'm not opposed to a food pantry either.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Christmas Smiles, we do give a box of food, and for basically a
Right.
meal is what we try to create for them. We'll buy a ham and then a box of, like I said, corn and mashed potatoes, box mashed potatoes,
Stuffing.
green beans, just stuff for a Christmas dinner is what we provide for them.
Do we do a Thanksgiving?
No,
No, we do not.
we do at our church. You know
Okay.
anybody?
Okay. I thought we did years ago, seems like.
Yeah, we used to do a turkey giveaway.
Yeah.
But, and then like Chief said, that $2,800, I mean, if we don't want to give it away, we can maybe go to Kroger, I don't know how that works, and buy some vouchers for families until it's gone. But like I said, we're not getting the volume of calls for that like you may think, like other,
Yeah.
Churches.
yeah, like, we're not getting those calls. Like I said, we may get 4 or 5 a year, and actually sometimes we'll get people to call, we'll make the boxes, and then they never show up. So that happens as well.
So when you see on here that it was last used in 2024, that wasn't an expense, that was a donation. So even though you may see it look current, that could just be a donation or an expense. It really hasn't been, there hasn't been an expense out of that event in quite a while.
Okay.
Because what the Parks and Rec currently has, they've been cycling through and actually having to throw things away.
Well, I'm in favor of rolling that over to Christmas Smiles if everybody else is on board.
Yeah.
You wanna
Make
make
that
that,
update?
make that
I,
motion?
I would feel better about leaving it as food pantry and just knowing or having the discussion that when
That it's
Christmas
there.
Smiles happens, food will be purchased out of that
Okay.
event. Because just rolling it into Christmas Smiles is not really the intent of the original donation.
No.
At the original donation, they're thinking
pantry.
it's going to be food. I wouldn't mind buying food out of there for
Purchased out of
Christmas Smiles.
Right.
I could do that and feel good about it.
Yeah, if we had more families than money that was donated, because this year didn't they do quite well on donations?
What, you mean the amount of money that came in?
Christmas Smiles,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, this year was really good.
Yeah.
Every kid got adopted, so we really didn't have to spend, I don't think, as much out of the foundation this year as we have in the last couple years, which is great. That's the whole intent, is every kid gets adopted, and this year that happened.
How about the food? Did we have enough money for all the food that we bought?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that still came out of the
Yeah.
Christmas Smiles side of it.
Right.
Now we can take it out of the. food
Christmas
pantry.
Smiles, what we expensed versus what we took in was almost a complete wash.
Oh, okay.
It was a good.
And it was a conversation I had with a couple of the Parks Department was just because they ask for a name brand pair of shoes, we may not be able to provide that. We are
Right.
providing a pair of shoes. It
Right.
may not have a fancy name on it, but it will cover their feet.
Right.
So we keep in mind,
Yeah, there were a couple of things in Christmas Smiles that, there's a need, and that's like a coat, a pair of shoes, gloves, a hat, and we've kind of changed that over the years, because buying shoes for kids is very difficult. And then when we go and shop, we're going to Walmart, and we're buying Walmart shoes. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but some of these kids, when they're asking for Nikes and you give them a pair of Walmart shoes, they won't, like, we don't want to waste money on that and
Right.
then not even wear them. So,
Right.
we've changed it to like socks, instead of shoes, because everybody can use socks.
Right.
But buying a pair of shoes for somebody is very difficult.
If they're that picky, why are we helping them?
Well,
it's a wish list,
you should see the
know.
list, Shirley.
We ask for a wish list.
I wish for a lot of things, but that don't mean I'm gonna
Just
get it.
because you wish for it doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen.
Right.
But I mean, that was also the conversation is we would love to be able to provide those things, but if we do that, this event will no longer exist because there won't be funds.
No.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
So
help
they're
10.
very, they do their due diligence
They do.
when they're shopping.
Yes.
They're really trying their best. So,
And I'll say Chris Hakes shops ahead of time and after, because he's in charge of the program. So he does a lot of that, looking ahead and then looking right after, because there's always sales. So,
Right.
and he's in charge of the school supply giveaway, same thing. We always try to buy a bunch of bulk when, schools let out and school supplies aren't in demand, but they're at Walmart for 10 cents a pad of paper, and he'll just go buy them out. So we have that overflow, so when it does come time, we're not spending the extra money. We're actually saving money in the end, giving that stuff out. Same thing with Christmas Smiles.
That's like our church does St. Vincent's. Last year, we did 272 bags. But I'm in charge of that program, so I suggested that we start right after Christmas. People start buying socks, gloves, scarves.
Yeah, if
things
you-
like that.
If you catch Kroger right after Christmas, you
Yeah.
can go in and get boxes of game boards or
But we
board
don't give
games or
toys.
Yeah.
Nerf guns, like whatever it is, you can go in there and they'll
Get 'em
be
for that.
super cheap. And then we try to do that, thinking, what are the kids asking this year if it's still there?
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of have a backstock that we have for the next year on their wish list. If there is a Nerf gun or whatever that is, maybe we do have it and we just throw it in their bag without somebody having to go buy it. So we try to think that way. We have gotten kind of away from having that big inventory because it takes up a lot of space.
Right.
So storage is of the essence at the rec center. And so we've kind of trimmed that down a little bit, but we still go out and look for those deals.
So Laura, do you need a motion to support going from 36 line items down to 14?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendations in the draft as presented by Co-Treasurer Perry.
Oh, please?
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Yes. Now, we have any other business? Does anybody have any other business? Do we need to set a date for the next one? It's a year from now. Okay, good.
first
Okay.
meeting.
Oh,
If we need one, we can call one. Other than that, it would just be the beginning of the year next year.
okay. So any other business from anybody? Okay, if there's no other business, we will adjourn this meeting at 7 o'clock. Community